Okay, I'm going to be going over the F5, F9 function. So when you're ready to depart a patient and discharge them, um, what you can do is, I'm going to delete this text here. Um, what you can do is go to the additional instructions, edit button like you were going to type in instructions. And what you do is hit F5, and then you don't have to hit this. Then hit F9. So F5, F9, and you'll see these options here. And you'll see pediatric specific instructions that we created. So let's click on PEDS viral respiratory infection instructions. And what it does is it populates our canned instructions here. And this is great. I think this is what everyone really wanted, which was the ability to edit instructions. So may use ibuprofen, and you can type in the dose pretty quickly there, 200 milligrams, 2 teaspoons, or whatever you normally do. And then everything else is here. Let's say you don't want a certain instruction, you can just delete it if you wanted to add something. But most of this stuff we all agreed was good instructions, including return instructions. Um, they're very similar to the instructions we created. So let's say I'm happy with these instructions for a child with a cold. I'll hit OK and it populates in there, and you could always edit again later. Now, because these instructions are pretty good here, and if it's what you like, you may not want to click on one of these instructions. So you can choose the pre-written text not available. We're populating uh, this into the chief complaints again. Some of them don't have this, so you'll have to search for it, unfortunately. But the common chief complaints. So if you were to search for it, you would type pre, and then you might have to hit next, um, which it's sort of right there, but it's already chosen for me. Um, so this is just a great thing to have. Um, take note that these instructions are up here under viral respiratory um, infection. And remember, the ones that we created say pediatric SAH. That means it's the ones that um, myself, Tina, or the ones you sent me are created. If it just says in children, those are sort of canned ones. You could always click on it. Um, Actually, it's in the search button. So if you want to look at what something says, instructions say, you can hit children, and then so here's pharyngitis in children. You can always hit view, and it'll show you what those instructions say. Oh, it went to abdominal pain in children. Has to be, but you can view those instructions before you print them. So you'd have to click on asthma in children and then hit view, and it will show you the instructions for that. That's just a little thing there. But I just want no text. That just means that won't print any instructions. It'll just print out what I typed in here. Let me show you a couple others. So F5 and F um and then so PEDS. There's a couple more. Note there's PEDS asthma exacerbation using an MDI and PEDS asthma exacerbation using a neb. So let's check out the MDI. It pre-populates everything that we sort of agreed upon. You might want to change those puffs to 2 puffs. You might want to get rid of that if you happen to not do steroid medication. I guess you'd have to change the number in there if you want. But everything else we sort of agree upon. And then it pops right up there. Um, so hopefully that'll help. I wanted to show you one other. So I'm going to search for SAH. These are all the instructions that we created. And I particularly want to show you MVC instructions. We get a lot of patients with MVCs. We made these, and I think it's nice because it kind of goes over car seat recommendations in general. Per the American Academy of Pediatrics, children less than 2 should ride rear facing or reach the highest weight and height recommendation by the car seat manufacturer. That's directly from the these are directly from the American Academy of Pediatrics. So, if you're interested, check out some of our other ones. Ours are PEDS SAH. The adult side has some, like lumbar radiculopathy, which they made. But the ones that say PEDS, we made, and there's even more that's in here, and in live too. So that's the F5 F9 function. Hopefully that will help a lot.